Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Now it's your lecture of class 7th of Pak Studies. The chapter which we discussed today, that is of leading the freedom movements. And leading the freedom movements means in this chapter we were discussing that who was lead the freedom movements or independent movements in subcontinent. As you know that there were too many leaders who just going to lead the freedom movements in subcontinent, but there is one who just going to lead the other main important leaders. Like if you remember in last chapters, we were discussing that Chaudhry Rahmat Ali and Johar Bradrans and also Allama Iqbal and some other leaders who just going to also help for getting independence with the Quaid-e-Azam. So the main leader of all these freedom movements, that was of Quaid-e-Azam. So now we're discussing about the Quaid-e-Azam. So Quaid-e-Azam was born, the real name of Quaid was Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Quaid-e-Azam was the title which was given by the Muslims of the subcontinent. He was born on 25th December 1876 and he born in the city of Karachi. His family was a merchant family. And the birthplace where he was born, that was a Wazir Mansion in Karachi. His father was a merchant and means a trader, and he just going to doing the trade in the India and also with the European countries. And he received his early education at Sindh Madrasa and later at the Mission School Karachi. So it means that early education he got from the Karachi. So before discussing the further education, I would like to tell you about the siblings of Jinnah. So Jinnah was the eldest one, and then Jinnah's sister Fatima Jinnah means he was having the 3 sisters and 3 brothers. Fatima Jinnah and then Sheeni Jinnah, Maryam Bai, these were the 3 sisters, and Ahmad Ali, Bande Ali and Rahmat Ali, these were the name of the brothers of Jinnah. So after getting the early education from Karachi, he went to England for higher education. And when he went to England, at that time he was only 16 years old. And the year was 1892. And just imagine that at the 16 year, we were not just going to imagine that very young students go to England for the further education. He just going to taking admission in the Cambridge University in London, where he got the degree of barrister, means law degree. He became barrister in 1895 and he was at that time one of the youngest barrister of his time. And when he returned back to the India at that time, the year was 1895. And when he returned back to the subcontinent, he decided that I must go to my country because my country need me rather than in England, because there were too many offers which were given by the British judges who want that intelligent student must join them. But when he returned back to the subcontinent, at that time the condition of the family was very worse. And why the condition of family was very worse? Because during his stay in England, his mother died, and also his first wife also died because of the disease which spread all over the subcontinent. And another crisis which he faced, and that during his stay in England, that he come to know that his father's business was in loss. So when he returned back, at that time his father's business was in trouble. So he started practice in Bombay and also fight for the case of his father's business, which was against the Britishers, and that was the first case which was taken by the Jinnah. Now we're starting about the political career. As I told you that when he returned back in 1895, at that time he started practicing law in Bombay, because at that time he was a fresh lawyer, that's why, and for that purpose they must join any bar at law for further experience. Okay, political career. His political career started from 1906. Why? Because in 1906 he joined the Indian National Congress, and after that in 1910 he was also elected to the Indian Legislative Council, and it was a very big honor for the Muslims, because first time among all the non-Muslims and also the Britishers, and that was the time period of the British rule in subcontinent, and he was elected to the Indian Legislative Council. And as I told you that he was very brilliant, and that's why he just going to prove himself in the Indian Legislative Council too. After that, in 1913, he also joined the Muslim League. But here the question, why he first joined the Indian National Congress in 1906? Because when he joined the Indian National Congress in 1906, at that time Muslim League was not formed. So after joining the Indian National Congress, and when he joined the Muslim League in 1913, at that time he was a member of both political parties, Indian National Congress and Muslim League. And he also became the president of Muslim League in 1916. As I told you that here we're discussing about the leading personality Qaid Azam who working for the Muslims and also for the Hindus and also for the freedom of the subcontinent. So for that purpose, another effort which was done by Jinnah, that was in the year of 1916. And in 1916, a pact was passed which was named as Lucknow Pact. And in that pact, Qaid tried to bring the both political parties on an agreement, and that agreement was on separate electorates. But if I'm just going to telling you that at that time, if you remember in last lecture I told you Gandhi also appeared in the politics of India. So when that Lucknow Pact was given by the Jinnah, that was rejected by Congress. Why they rejected is because they did not want to give the share to the Muslims in the government. So in 1920, when Gandhi appears in politics, then we cannot say that they may be the political changes of the Congress getting changed, because Gandhi also having the same thinking that he also want the Hindu Raj in the subcontinent. After that, even though because of the behavior of the Congress, Qaid Azam just going to resign in 1920s from Muslim League and Congress, from both political parties, only just to show his aggression about the both political parties, that they are just going to agree on any agreement which was given by the and which is in favor of the Muslims. After that, in 1929, a very important event happened in the year which we also discussed in the last chapter, that 14 points of Jinnah was passed in or presented in 1929. In that 14 points, federal government for independent India, that was one of the idea which was given by the Jinnah, that there must be a federal kind of a central kind of a system of government should be in the India. And another thing, 1/3 seat for Muslims in any central legislature. Legislature means making of constitution. So according to Qaid, Muslim must be given a 1/3 share in any central legislature or in any assembly, means in provincial or in central assembly, Muslim must have the 1/3 share. And next, if you remember that we also discussing about the Sindh, that Sindh was a part of the Bombay province. So in 1929, that was also an offer by the Jinnah that you should do something for the Sindh, and that should be separated from the Bombay province. And also he announced some of the reforms of the NWFP. Why? Because NWFP was not at that time announced as a separate province. It was not having any kind of status. So that's why he also said that there must be major reforms must be bring in the NWFP. So that is all about the today's lecture.